Here we are at Oshkosh AirVenture opening day, and a hot one it's been, but cooling off a little bit, cloud cover's coming over. Today we get to talk to Jeremy Monet. He is the, what is your title at the company these days?
Officially
General manager?
The CEO right now.
CEO, you got the big title now.
Sure.
So. And this is Sonex, a company that we've not covered before, but we should have because they have a lot of cool airplanes. But before we go to all the cool airplanes, let's talk about your engine, Jeremy, because you guys are one of the few companies I know of, Jabiru, and I'm running out of any other name of a company that makes both airplanes and engines. And not only that, but they've done electric engines and jet engines, but that's another place. So let's talk about this guy right here. What is this?
Well, we have a lot cooking, Dan, and you're exactly right. It puts us in a very unique niche in this industry in that we're not just an airframe manufacturer, but we're also an engine manufacturer. And our engine happens to be a kit engine, just like our airframes are kit aircraft. Experimental Amateurbuilt is exactly where our wheelhouse is, and that allows obviously a lot of flexibility with builders to do as they please with their particular projects and customize them as they see. And the AeroVee engine really comes from my father's heritage. He's been a leader in terms of John Monet, yep, and he's been a leader in the Volkswagen industry for a long time. One of the very first to offer and sell a quote-unquote auto conversion package for the Volkswagen, and it really is inaccurate to call this AeroVee in front of us here an auto or a VW conversion anymore. It really is truly
It's kind of evolved quite a bit over the years.
Racing component parts, and we have definitely the car racers, the dragsters, the dune buggy people to thank for this, because they offer and provide a huge market. 10,000, 20,000 of these parts you see on the stand here per year provides for a very low cost, very robust product. Now essentially we take the core 2180cc racing engine, which is rated at 80 horsepower at 3,400 RPM.
Okay.
You can see it's direct drive. A lot of the philosophy that's kind of the overriding philosophy you'll see in our products, not just keeping it simple, keeping it light, keeping affordable. And this AeroVee engine through the years has evolved into right in our wheelhouse for what our customers are looking for. Everything you see on this stand, less exhaust, $7,000.
In kit form.
In kit form.
And so what's
some assembly, some assembly required.
Some assembly required.
Yes.
Get a teenager.
Yeah,
but what is the assembly time?
So we say, and in
parameters.
fact, we actually shot a video which is available to anyone. Aeroconversions.com can order our assembly video. And it actually shows the process of assembling this engine through basically a weekend project that we shot it in. Now, you know, for videos, you're doing a lot of these things 2-3 times, reworking, re-editing. So, you know, for somebody that really knows what they're doing, for a car person, if you've ever worked on a car engine or your Volkswagen or any racing core, same wrenches, same tools. It's an assembly project, and we say, you know, 4 to 6 hours is a very realistic assembly time.
Okay.
Now, obviously, some people take it into a number of days or a number of hours.
Well, some people like to customize and do extra stuff, which you mentioned they can with this airplane, with this engine.
Correct, and we focused our efforts on all these red parts you see, the propeller hub, the strongest in the business, a shrink fit prop hub with a custom crank. All the red components are all taking advantage of the machine technology. And we've even taken advantage again of the experimental amateur built status. We pioneered some ignition systems that have been used on other things and brought them to the aviation community. Namely, this Briggs & Stratton module, this self-energizing primary ignition. The module is $75 at your local engine repair shop. So if you blow one up or hurt it, you can replace it. They're very robust. And the secondary ignition comes from the motorcycle world. This electronic ignition, secondary electronic ignition. You see a second set of plugs underneath, so it's true redundancy, both in terms of 2 magnetrons and a whole electronic system. You know, you can talk about all the stuff, a SkyTech starter. You can see the top-mounted cooler, which is for the Onex, for the Sonex, we put one on the bottom. This exhaust is really the main exhaust for all of our products. And you know, it's just a very lightweight engine, about 160 pounds as you see it on the stand. You know, you add oil, your firewall forward accessories, it really does a job.
Now, this engine is used on all of your products, I guess, but you have ranged out and done other ones. I believe when I flew with you, we were behind a Jabiru at that time.
Right.
So you've looked at some of the other guys' engines,
Sure.
And yet this one is sort of your lead product today, is it?
It's all about money. And right now, you know, especially through the difficult economic times that many have experienced, not personally, but professionally, commercially, and in aviation, people are looking to fly for less. So when you look at this engine for $7,000, some assembly required, you look at nobody is better equipped to do the ongoing maintenance. So you're cutting cost, putting money in your pocket every time you touch this thing, which is really a good feeling. You combine that with our airframes, which are here behind us, and we market the AeroVee engine to all of our airframes. And as you said, Dan, you did fly in a 3300 Jabiru powered Sonex, and we actually support that engine. Again, the issue has been the Jabiru has crept up in price,
right.
But what you get for that money is something to pull out of the crate, bolt it on, and go.
Yeah, if you just don't want to mess with the kit at all, you've got non-kit options for those people. Now, let's shift a little bit, Jeremy, and talk about your airplane. You got quite a flock here. As I look around, everything I see is yellow in every direction it appears. You love that yellow color, obviously, and it's worked well for you.
Or at least John does, but yes.
Very fair of you. But let's kind of review the different models you've got. The Onex you mentioned, which is a little sweetheart for me because I like single-place airplanes. Onex, well, it's a one-seater. Take it from there, though, and show us around the
Quality
field.
of the social experience. That's why you build a single-place airplane. You know, where I'll step you through the product line in just a quick hit fashion. And really, where we started is the Sonex, which is right here behind me. This is actually John flying it, but there's a second seat, so you can put two people side by side.
Side by side, quite
40
comfortable
inches
too,
wide.
pretty roomy.
A little bigger than a Cessna 150, but
Yep.
you know that's not roomy by any means, but very good for the 80 horsepower engines we use. The Sonex really represents the bulk of our sales. 2 seats, very affordable, very complete kit. When you move over to here, the next airplane we introduced, which I know you've also flown in, is our Waiex, which is our V-tail or Y-tail version of the Sonex. I like to say if you like a lot of attention, you build a Sonex. If you like all the attention, you build a Waiex. And then our other products, the Xenos Motorglider, definitely more of a niche product. It's actually a motor glider, just like it sounds. Big wing, big tail. You shut the engine down, you do some soaring, and it's a very respectable performer. You know, a little better than a 233 trainer, but we also have that prop hanging out there showing a low-cost, entry-level glider, and that's at a good niche.
I got to fly that one with you as well. That
You
was
bet.
also quite a pleasure because I'm a soaring pilot. If you're a soaring pilot, you're going to like that airplane as well.
And I'm still hopeful that it will continue to appeal to a wide range in an affordable market and open up soaring, because I absolutely, along with the rest of our design team, we love soaring. And here's the Onex, and that was on the cover of Sport Aviation this month. It's been extremely popular, by far our most popular product for the last 12 calendar months, as it's new.
Didn't you offer that about 2 years ago when you first showed
First showed up 2 years ago,
That's what I
started
thought, okay.
taking money just over a year ago, and we've shipped over 100 airplanes
Is
to
that
date.
right?
It's an extremely popular kit. I imagine it will continue to hockey stick and explode. Again, the quality of the social experience, but the costs are lower. It's smaller, therefore there's fewer parts.
What kind of money for a Onex?
The kit price for the Onex $13,000.
$13,000.
With many of the
$7,000 for the engine.
correct, and then you got to add
$20,000 in some labor and some other bits and pieces and some paint. and so
propeller, upholstery, instrumentation, which you know, instrumentation these days you can spend $5,000 on, but my packages are less than $2,000, and they're a very respectable package.
So what's a typical price, low end, I mean the stuff you need, not bare bones, but the stuff you need in a 1X, ready to fly
Sure. Right around
after labor?
$25,000.
$25,000 for not for a ready to fly airplane, but when it's ready to fly.
Correct.
And they're all kits. Every one of these is experimental amateur built, is that correct?
Correct. So we have not gone through the SLSA process in order to offer any LSA. We have no current plans to, because again, back to our fundamental
You're
niche.
just going to have to jack the price up to do that.
Right, we would. We'd have to add staff. We'd have to add a lot of infrastructure. We're about affordable aviating. We're about delivering a quality product at a quality price.
Now you've done pretty well at this. How many Sonex, under the umbrella of Sonex, not just the Sonex model, but all of the Sonex airplanes, because that's your lead model, but it's also the company name. So all of them together, how many you got out there?
Over 2,000 airplanes,
Wow.
and that's in various states of construction. Some are planned, some are complete kits. Again,
Oh, you're
for
still
very-
doing plans too? then,
You
huh?
got it. The Sonex is still supported, again, as our bread and butter to offer the plans. The Waiex, the Xenos, and the Onex are all kit aircraft.
Okay.
And you may notice, again, you'll get some footage of this later, but our SubSonex has been displayed here at the show. It was flying during the showcase. We also, as you mentioned,
That's a
have
jet-powered one, yes.
jet-powered one.
I love the name, though. You guys have got a lot of clever names.
We got an electric project, or actual Waiex, that we're doing proof of concept, and in my opinion, it's one of the most advanced electric aircraft in the world, and it's here, right here in Oshkosh.
And you did that maybe 3 years ago or more when you first introduced your E-Flight project.
Correct. We've been chiseling away at that, and again, everybody knows time and resources are very valuable in an aircraft company, and again, we
There's
constantly...
never enough of either,
Never
yes.
enough. We constantly reprioritize, and in my opinion, we sink our money and time into products that will have a market and will hit. And in my opinion, we've got come on out to our Onex booth. You can see 10 different unique factory aircraft, all different ways you can build them, different engine options, just a ton of different airplanes depending on what your interest is.
Well, I've also been all over your website in the past, and it's a very nice website. You do a great job with it. In fact, I probably need to look again because it's probably got new improvements now. Tell us how people find that. They're watching this on YouTube, so they're already at their computer. What do they type in to find you?
Sonex Aircraft, S-O-N-E-X Aircraft, all one word.com. Very extensive website, and I already mentioned the Aero Conversions website is kind of our engine product line. We have people putting this AeroVee engine on all kinds of different
Not just your
aircraft,
products, then,
not
okay.
just our stuff, and we're happy to sell to you. You know, we have also a number of ancillary products like throttle quadrants and trim systems and aero injector carburetors, all kinds of different things for the home builder. And again, we keep a lot of irons on the fire. We run a fast-paced company, but in my opinion, and you can ask around, we've worked really hard on our reputation of having a high level of support, the best cost in the business, and in my opinion, by far and away, the best set of plans in the business to support you all the way through your build.
And I've seen from some of your builders some very interesting videos, which you can also tap into on your website. Well, I won't go into it, but you just got to go look around, and they're there, and they're a lot of fun to watch. So we're talking here at Oshkosh, and the last thing I want to mention is the whole company is right here at Oshkosh. This is home base. We just kind of push all this stuff over from across the field, and here you are, ready to do business.
We're actually standing in front of our building, which is actually a portable building we built purposely for our venture this year, kind of taking advantage of our home field advantage here at Wittman. And if anyone's interested in talking about locating at Wittman, we always like to do a plug for them, a shameless plug. You want to sleep in your own bed for a couple weeks a year, come on out to Wittman and put your business here. We support the airport and they support us.
Very cool. Talking today with Jeremy Monette at Oshkosh AirVenture, and I've gotten the opportunity to fly 2 or 3 of your airplanes at least. Wonderful experience. That's available on bydanjohnson.com or by.
Come on back and fly the Onex, Dan.
I want to do that. I'd like to fly them all. Maybe I'll take a little time before the SubSonex, but we'll see how that works out. The electric I'd like to try too.
Great.
All of that's available there. We appreciate your watching today, and come on back and see some more videos.